Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can we please have a toast?
Okay.
Maybe a little round of applause.
Okay.
Genesis 3K on the beat. I hope we're okay. I'm in the back of the dance with a few men deep.
Okay.
Got Cheyenne and Chanel to my left and my right, and we're up in the dance. Okay.
Hey, my name's Adessy and you are watching an episode of the Navigate series, a series that is dedicated to talking all things adulting. So I'm here with my two friends,
Seye and
Keziah, and today we're going to be talking about moving out of home. Introduce yourselves, tell us a bit about you, what you guys do, or what you're interested in doing, and then we'll go from there.
Hi guys, my name's Seye, as I said earlier. I'm a graduate from the University of Warwick and I'm currently working as an accountant. 9 to 5 boy now.
I did not even know that. Wow.
You didn't know?
I didn't know you were an accountant, you know. Alright.
I'm not an accountant. My name is Keziah and I'm also a graduate from the University of Warwick and I work as a barista in a coffee shop.
Come on.
So today's topic is about moving out of the house and moving away from home. And I haven't moved out, but these two have. And I just love to find out about your experiences. When I say moving out, what are the first 3 words that come to your mind?
First 3 words?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a tough question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'll say hunger, freedom,
Ooh.
and opportunity.
Maybe independence.
Mm.
I don't know about the freedom one, whether that's the same or not, but yeah, we'll go with freedom. We'll go with freedom. And I don't know, adulthood.
Okay.
Adulthood.
But when you said, okay, so you said hunger. Why hunger?
Listen, I need to up my cooking game basically. Basically, if I don't cook on the weekend and I'm coming back from work, I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I won't have food in the fridge. So it's gonna be a takeaway sort of day.
Do you want to learn how to cook, or is it that you go to bed hungry?
I go to bed unsatisfied. You know, I get that. You know that African food, your belly's full. But
Yeah.
but when I'm at home, I'm having pasta, eggs and bread sometimes, and yeah, it's not satisfying me. So
you just want home cooked food.
yeah, basically.
Okay, what about you? You said the first independence.
Yeah, which is kind of related to the food thing, I guess. I said to my friend the other day that I feel like adulthood is having fruit in your house, like making sure you have fruit in your house.
1 over 5 a day. Love it. Do you have fruit in your house?
No.
Adults, you see adults. We're learning. Do you miss your family?
Yeah, all the time. I do.
That's one thing I get a bit nervous about with the whole moving out situation, like, because I feel like when you go out, are you meant to come back home?
What?
Like when you
I see
move
what you
out,
mean, I
are
see
you
what
meant
you
to
mean.
like? Is it
Oh,
like
is that
I
it?
moved out for a couple of years now, but I'm moving back home? Like, how do you feel like you just cut the ties?
For me, it's not about cutting ties because I try to go back home like fortnightly, let's say. So every 2 weeks, I try to come back home and see my mum and dad. So in that sense, I don't get too lonely or I don't miss home too much because I can really drive down the road. They're only 10 minutes away, and then I'm back
wow.
home to see my parents. Yeah.
So that's not really moving out. That's just
Yeah.
you just changed rooms. Like.
Oh my days. No, I mean I still have the freedom of like being the boss of myself, not having any parents to nag me. If I don't want to wash my plate that night, you know, I can leave it in the sink.
But you can't really like go back home like that. Your family live in the woods, isn't it?
What, the countryside?
Yeah, they live in Sheffield.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And I mean, I always feel like I can go back home, but you just can't all the time. It's like 10 minutes away.
If you guys were put in a situation where it was like, let's just say finances just left, would you go back home or would you just find all possible ways to stay living alone?
I'd go home, I think.
You know what? Do you know what's interesting? I feel like when you move out, you kind of forget the reason you wanted to move out. Did that make sense? So when you're at home all the time, like I said, you start getting nagged all the time. You know.
Wash the plate. Wash the plate.
You forget, like, we all had that time where we wanted to go out and leave home for university, right? We wanted that freedom. And as soon as you come back home, let's say you're in that position of financial burden and you have to make the choice of if you're going to go to like a cheaper place or you're going to move back home, you need to remember what it was like when you were living at home all the time.
That's actually
You know,
true.
and some of the things you do now, like at university or living out now, I think you take for granted. You might not actually realise how much freedom you have and the fact that you can't do that at home.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
When I was in uni, me and Seye had the same landlord, Mr. Bilku.
Oh.
This man stressed our lives, and after that, I was just like, I'm actually traumatized with looking or renting a situation. So, how did you overcome the trauma of Mr. Bilku, and how did you find your situation?
I think all London living stories start with like, we got lucky with our house. Like it's kind of a luck thing with London. I think we saw a few that were really nasty, like flats, and you have to sort of be like, well, if this is what we can afford, then yeah, I guess I won't see daylight for a window. Like this window is so small.
Which camera am I looking at? This one, yeah?
Yeah.
Look, you, Mr. Buku. Let me continue.
Such a mean man.
Why?
It was so bad.
My ceiling was leaking, I had bed bugs, and then he told me that I brought them with me.
Our ceiling in the kitchen fell down. My friend was washing plates. Shout out Yossi.
This washing plates is a reoccurring
It's a
thing.
reoccurring. Yeah, I mean, he was at the sink and literally the ceiling fell down, collapsed next to him. He calls up Mr. Bilku. He was saying, you know, oh, you're gonna have to pay for this. You guys have destroyed the ceiling. You've been showering inappropriately. What does that even mean? You've been showering inappropriately and you're ruining the ceiling and that's why it fell down. And you know the ceiling's got like nails in it and all of this weird sort of stuff to hold it together that it will really damage you if it connects with your head. So.
Had a golden one and she was cute, but she had too much lip. Like too big for the front, so she's always in the back of the whip.
Interlude, stop watching. This is a new segment called GPS, which stands for Grown People Struggles. This is where we read tweets, Instagram comments, anything that's related to adulting, and we see whether we can relate to it. So pick one.
Being an adult is saying to yourself, if I don't clean that up, no one else is going to do it. A lot. Hashtag adulting.
Can you relate?
Yeah, man. Like, it's my job.
Alright, man says, y'all, my credit score is looking exquisite. Hashtag adulting. My credit score is not bad. I checked it on Experian.com. Experian, if you want to sponsor this, feel free.
Mine says, Christmas is tomorrow, but it doesn't feel like it. Is this what adulting feels like? Ooh, that's a tough one, isn't it? You know what, Christmas for me is it's a bit dry now, do you know what I mean? It's a bit dry now. I mean, still get the jollof, still get the moi moi, the chicken and all of that.
Everything goes back to food.
It's not always about food, let me land.
Do you feel lonely?
No.
That was a good one.
I think, so my job is customer facing, like I'm with people all the time. I live with friends and a lot of my friends have moved to London. I actually feel like I'm not lonely enough sometimes. Like it's really hard to strike a balance between like making the most of seeing your friends and being with your housemates and but then also like being on your own and like regenerating a little bit. So no is my answer to that. I don't feel lonely. Okay. And I'm blessed because of that. Like it would be very easy. I think if you're in a city, I think you can feel like one person surrounded by loads and loads of people. So I feel very lucky to have so many people around me. But no, is my answer.
That's a good answer. Me, I feel like sometimes you look short. No, sometimes
Wait,
I do.
you live by yourself?
No, I live with my brother and someone else who we rent the flat to. But let's say in busy periods at work, let's say if I'm not as busy as they are, I could be coming home and it's just dark, everybody's out, obviously nobody's been at home, and sometimes it's one of those things where you might be at home for the whole evening after work and nobody comes home because they're working late or maybe they've gone to do other things. But if I was at home, I know my parents are coming. They come back at 5:30 every day. I know I'm going to see them there. Let's go back to food. I know there's going to be dinner there as well. But in terms
Shay,
of,
you know what? We need to do
should I
a meal
put
plan. We need to do a meal
if you want to
plan.
help me out, please. But yeah, so what I'm saying is sometimes I can come back and just be on my own the whole evening, and I'll just go to sleep and I've not seen anyone since I've got back from work.
That's true.
So
like, you
that
wake up, you go to
does
work, you
get
come home,
lonely.
you
Yeah,
sleep,
yeah, that can get lonely, but yeah.
Do you feel like moving out has made you into a real adult? Like, has the whole process made you
A
into
real adult? Oh yeah, no.
What is a real adult?
First of all, what is a real adult? Do you know what I mean?
Then look at the English student and he dissecting the
Yeah,
question.
you have to put that PEE explanation of what a real adult
GCSE
is.
throwback.
Yeah.
I don't think you just become a real adult when you move out. I think it's a process, it's a journey. It's a
Journey. I like it.
So in terms of being an adult, I don't really know. Like, you know what? I do go. You know what? When I want to cook on Sundays, yeah, I do cook sometimes. I'll go and do a food shop at Lidl. Yeah, I'll get the trolley. I'll get the trolley. I'll put all the food in. I know that's what adults do. They do the weekly shop on the weekend, so I do that. But everything else, no.
Well, that is it for this episode of the Navigate series. Thank you guys for sharing your stories. You're interesting.
Yo guys, okay, follow me on Twitter. Why are you laughing? What's
So
funny?
you even changed the words. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing my pitch now.
Look at him.
I'm doing my pitch.
He's forward.
So make sure to follow me on Twitter at _Seye Akin. Make sure to listen to the Screamers podcast. Comes out every 2 weeks. Me and my boys are on that as well. The Twitter is at Screamers Podcast. So, keep an eye out for that. Episode coming out in 2 weeks. And first episode is out now.
Alright, and Kez is secretive, that's why she's wearing all black, because she likes to hide. I respect it. Alright, thank you for watching this video and see you in the next one.